Okay, I'd like to call this special meeting to order. Everyone is present. Our administrators are in the area. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? So made by Stacy. Second?
Second.
By Jonathan. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That motion carries 7-0. We only have one item on our agenda this evening, and it's old business, naming of the new elementary, and I believe we have some committee representatives that are going to address us. Nick Colley and Barb Yetzer? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm supposed to pull this up here. Go. Oh, and I don't hit that. Here, up here. Here we go.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, it's my eyesight. Good evening, Madam Chair, Dr. Stallo, members of the board. Nick and I are representing the Elementary Naming Committee, and we are back to share two more names that the committee came up with.
So the naming committee consisted of members of Savage, Prior Lake staff. So as you can see, we convened on January 14th and then again on February 18th, a second time after we kind of went back to work. All the folks here had a lot of time to think about it, and we thought about a lot of things, the area, you know, what it would mean to the all the constituents, whether you're in Prior Lake or Savage. And this is the policy, which I know you guys are well aware of, that we followed for naming the school buildings or facilities. And we reviewed there was a poll put out. There's 103 people who submitted names. We reviewed that extensively. I believe you guys got a copy of that as well, and it came to the board on the 11th. So our original recommendations after discussion and then from the poll that was taken from the citizens was Dan Patch Elementary, Hamilton Landing Elementary, and Sand Ridge Elementary. Mainly because Dan Patch is significant in Savage. Hamilton Landing was the original name of Savage when it was first originated, and then Sand Ridge we tried to play into the natural aspect of the area where the school is being built. So when we went back to the drawing board a little bit, there was some discussion around the fact that there were 3 housing developments that were very similar to the name of the new school: the Hamilton Landing subdivision, Dan Patch Trail, as well as Sandpoint subdivision. So with that, we had a discussion around that and thought, well, where do we go from here? And so we already talked about this a little bit here, sorry.
That's the last one.
Oh, this, okay, this. So with that, we decided that we were going to come forth with just Hamilton. Either Hamilton Ridge or Hamilton Elementary were our recommendations to the board, mainly because we wanted to have some significance around Savage, seeing that the new elementary school is in Savage, so people understand and can get a little bit of the history and maybe ask questions about why is this elementary school named Hamilton or Hamilton Ridge. So we liked Hamilton Ridge mainly because the area is up high and it kind of plays into a little bit of the area. Obviously, Red Tail Ridge being near there as well, seeing that they're going to be probably part of their sister schools, so to speak, because they're going to be very close to each other. And so that's where we came up with. And we gave two of them. We thought Hamilton Ridge, that's a mouthful, and then Hamilton Elementary as well. So those are our 2 recommendations, and we hope you support them. Thank you.
And of course, I can't let him do all the speaking.
I need to ask if you had anything else to say about
it. I just want to share one more thing, is that when we did take a look at all of the names, having Hamilton in somewhere in the name was very predominant. And that's kind of what we kept coming back to of, it's just a really neat historical piece that I think would be a neat representation, that the committee thought would be a representation. And we also talked to people after the board had discussed it and came back to us, and talking to people, the term Hamilton within that school name was overwhelmingly a positive from what we all got back as well. So that's why the committee, unanimously came back with either of these two names. Any questions?
I'm just going to make a comment first that I appreciate the committee reconvening and going through all this again so that we have another option to look at, because obviously we knew we were at a standstill. So thanks for putting in the extra time. And before we do take a motion on any of the names, I would like to have open discussion, and then we can come up with a motion since we have two options here. So if anyone wants to start, or I'll start with Michael.
Well, if it's appropriate, I'll begin with a question.
Sure.
Tell me if it's not appropriate to ask, but as representatives of the committee, is there one of these two names you feel more comfortable with representing that committee that you would nudge us toward?
I think we unanimously said we liked either one.
Okay.
And I think some people think it has a nice ring to have Hamilton Ridge, but then some say that might be a mouthful, and Hamilton Elementary would do just as much justice.
I was looking for an easy way out.
Oh,
but
okay. We'd be happy with either one. The committee would be.
Hamilton Ridge.
No comment, no questions.
I will simply thank you for the effort once again.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for clarifying it for us. I think the one thing that we did talk about in the study session and before the last meeting was everyone had, I think, favorable around Hamilton and some sort of other. So I think if we didn't have the landing, it probably would have been Hamilton of some, whatever. Yeah, so I think it's good that we've come up with these two.
Okay.
The only thing, and I don't have the data in front of me either, but I know, Barb, when you said that the original names that came forward, there were quite a few with just Hamilton, and I think maybe 15, and I don't want to give a number because I'm not for sure.
It was more Hamilton Elementary than Hamilton something else elementary.
Yeah, but there were some of the Hamilton something else as well.
Yep.
So just wanted to echo that. I think the committee came back, listened to what the board's discussion was, and then went back to really review that data as well. So thank you.
Mary?
I have no questions, but I appreciate your effort. Thank you.
Enrique?
Likewise, I have no questions, but I'm extremely grateful for the effort that you all went through as a committee, and after probably going away somewhat with your the wind out of your sails from the last vote at not having a conclusion, I walked away thinking, you know, if that committee comes back with Hamilton whatever, that solidifies it for me that that is definitely the name that we get to choose from.
And I think we didn't know about Hamilton Landing being a subdivision, and, you know, then going back and looking and seeing the Dan Patch and whatnot, and just knowing, being at Red Tail Ridge, there will be a development that eventually, if it is called Hamilton Ridge Elementary, there probably will be one down the road, because now we do have a Red Tail Ridge subdevelopment behind us. So that might help make a decision too.
Okay, would anyone like to make a motion? Or I will.
No, I don't. I'm just going to let someone else do it. I'm not going to do it.
The motion for Hamilton Ridge Elementary.
Second.
Okay, Enrique made the motion, Stacy's second. Any other discussion? All those in favor of Hamilton Ridge, say aye.
Aye.
You don't know if that's, I think that's enough. Maybe I need you to raise your hands. Okay. Opposed? None. That passes 7-0. The new elementary will be Hamilton Ridge Elementary. Thank you again for all your work.
Yay.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn, as that was our only item.
So moved.
By Mary, second.
Second.
By Stacy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That motion carries 7-0. Now we're going to study session, about 5 minutes.